just got done with this beautiful Z32. We're going for a little drive in this Z32. We basically got done putting our exhaust system in. It's got our full setup from turbos back, 2.5-inch catback, open X. Nice and quiet in here. You can still hear the exhaust note, but it's just right. You can still have a nice conversation with somebody and not sacrifice any power. Or the lovely notes of that VG30 TT. So good. Guys, we just got done with this beautiful Z32. We got a set of Volk Racing TE37s on it. On the front, we're running an 18 by 8.5 plus 38. And in the back, we've got an 18 by 9.5 plus 35. So we've got a really nice look, offset, nothing too crazy aggressive, perfect daily driver, still on soft ride height, but this car is an absolute blast to drive. We just got done putting our catback exhaust on it. It sounds great, makes really good power. Stock turbo car, really fun. Has our clutch flywheel setup on it. Such a blast to drive these cars. We love it. You guys have any questions on any of this stuff, just hit us up.
What's up guys, JD. So today we're installing brake rotors. Just kidding. So today we're installing our Specialty Z. So today we're installing our Specialty Z lightweight flywheel for the Z32s. They weigh 12 pounds, so it's a pretty substantial amount of weight savings over the stock flywheel. We're gonna be doing the entire kit. So we have the flywheel, we have our 5-puck clutch, and our pressure plate.
So on the fork, usually you'll get the fork without the clips, and you got to put these clips in correctly. You're going to see that this part of the clip is elevated. You want the higher side of this to go inside the fork. That way it reaches the actual pivot ball, because this is what's going to clip over the head of the pivot ball. Okay, so you're just going to put it in like so into the grooves, and then we just have to get the top portion on the inside. So I like to use these needle nose pliers. Just apply pressure in there and boom, there it is. And then we'll apply our grease. So we like to use the Royal Purple synthetic grease, and we'll get some where the pivot ball is going to go. Want to make sure you contain it to kind of the inside of there. You don't want it all over the place, you know, because you don't want the grease getting onto your clutch disc. And then we'll put some there where we're going to see it make contact to our collar, and then a little bit on the inside right there. Okay, since we've got it here, you can also apply grease where the slave pin is going to push because if you don't, you'll get some squeaking over time. All right. The grease for our collar is going to go on the inside. There's many times I've taken these apart to find that they either use the incorrect grease or no grease at all. And usually when that happens, it'll actually damage the input shaft. So you got to replace the front cover of the trans because it's just metal to metal. And then we'll apply this clip on there, like so. And then once we're ready to put this into the bell housing on the trans, we'll show you how it all snaps together. So we've cleaned the bell housing up, and we can kind of tell it has the somewhat original paper gasket on the front cover. This is where our throwout bearing collar resides. This is usually what you have to replace if no grease was used. So you want to inspect this to make sure there's no grooves. Can't get your fingernails and any other stuff. This one's pretty good, thankfully. A little bit of rust on the end of the input shaft where it goes into the crank where the pilot bushing goes. Clean this up. We're going to clean up the splines, but before we do any of that, we're going to pull this cover off and we're going to replace the seal that's on the inside and the gasket. Okay, so we've got our new seal. A lot of people get this confused. I've seen it in the past. They'll install the seal outside facing you. That's incorrect, okay? It's got to go backwards. So if you're looking back at the seal, that's going to go into the cover, okay? So again, we're going to get our royal purple grease. Anytime you're working with a seal, you want to make sure you apply grease to where it's going to make contact on the sealing surface, okay? Our seal placed. You can get some of it in by hand. And then we'll use our installer. So now we've got our seal. You just want to make sure it sits flat. And then it's ready to go. We've got our new gasket. So we'll be installing that next. All right, guys, so we're gonna prep to get the cover on and the gasket. So we're gonna use a little bit of acetone and this rag, and we're just gonna clean off the sealing surfaces. Make sure we don't have any oil. And then we'll do the same thing on our cover as well. And we'll also get some of the old silicone out of these bolt holes. All right, guys, so we've got our bolts prepped, cleaned. The final thing we're gonna do is silicone the bottom three holes. This fluid can actually come out of these three holes, okay? So you'll see that Nissan actually changed the bolt head style. See how it's kind of got a machined button look to it versus the typical bolt style. So these three are the ones that are gonna get silicone on them. You wanna be mindful of your seal, kind of get it centered as best as you can. So we've got our front cover installed, our upgraded pivot ball. We're going to get some of the rust off of the front of the input shaft, and then we're going to clean the splines up on the input shaft to make sure that our new clutch slides on that input shaft smoothly and freely. All right, guys, so we've got everything cleaned up. The front of the input shaft, the splines on the input shaft, that's all nice and clean. Our next step is we're going to take some of this ceramic lubricant and apply a little bit on the splines, and this is going to help the disc slide over the input shaft spline a little smoother to help with disengagement, especially at high RPM upshifts. And then we'll remove the excess lubricant off of the splines because we don't want that getting all over the disc itself. This is our high five. You want to make sure your hands are clean, free of any contamination. and we're going to run the disc over the splines. So this will do two things. We're basically going to get some of that transfer of the lubricant over the splines. And then this will also take off any of the burrs that are on the input shaft itself and also on the hub. And this will, again, ensure that we have a smooth operation and movement of the disc over the input shaft. And we'll rotate it. And I'm just applying a little bit of pressure in different directions to help it. We'll remove the excess. So we're using a bronze pilot bushing. You don't have to use grease. I was always taught to use grease, because we're going to apply a little bit of grease to the front of this. You don't want to get carried away. This is what's going to go in and make contact with that bronze pilot bushing that we have installed into the crankshaft. All right, we're going to install our fork. We're first going to put in our dust boot. All right, we'll grab our fork. Grab our throwout bearing and collar assembly. And then we'll pop our fork onto the pivot ball and snap. Get the excess grease off of there. And then we want to make sure that this smoothly goes over the cover like that. Equal distribution of the grease at the same time. So if this was rough or anything like that, we'd have to take this off and then find out where it is, and then we can use emery cloth or Scotch-Brite. Hopefully it's nothing major, and then you can get it to be nice and smooth. We're going to use our input shaft tool and put that in to the crank where the pilot bushing is. So that's our alignment tool. And we'll get our disc placed on there, just like that. And then now we can place our pressure plate. The dowels have a certain alignment to them. There's different spacing. You'll see this dowel is a little closer to this bolt hole. And then these two have the same separation. They're a little further apart than this one is. We've got our pressure plate. This is the alignment dowel that has the shorter distance between the bolt hole in itself. That guy's going to go here. And then the other ones will line up. And then just give it some taps. We'll make sure that our alignment tool goes in and out smoothly. And then we'll start to thread in our bolts. To snug these up, we're going to do the final torquing with a torque wrench. So we're not going to apply too much pressure or too much torque with this gun. As we do this, we're going to do the star pattern, and we're going to make sure that this can slide in and out smoothly. Torque wrench set for 30 foot-pounds. Our flywheel has those torque settings in there. So before we put on the disc, it had on the top 30 foot-pounds, and then the same thing for the torque for the flywheel bolts. So these factory spec is 28 to 32. 30 is perfect. We've got it set to 30. And we'll go ahead and tighten these down. Pressure plate bolts are all torqued to spec, all the while making sure that the alignment tool goes in nice and smooth. This is exactly what you want. You don't want this to be fighting you, because if it does, when you go to put the transmission in, you can damage the disc and you're not going to have the smooth operation that we're looking for.